think they're neat. Most people leave triangles behind once they've finished the compulsory lessons on Pythagoras, geometry, and trigonometry, only to be abruptly reacquainted once they start their careers. Obviously, some life choices will keep you in close contact with triangles. My own experience of being a maths teacher and maths author is one example. Others are far less obvious. Whenever some kind of isn't maths silly thread pops up on social media, there will be a chorus of people contradicting the narrative with stories of their own necessary mathematics. My favourites include an oil field driller declaring geometry began and ended my day, and a machinist chipping in with, I use trigonometry literally every day. The oilfield worker even spelled out how unexpectedly vital mathematical knowledge was to their career. One of the things I quickly learned was that your math skills, or aptitude rather, determines how far you can progress in this industry. It was through learning geometry that they were able to be promoted from derrick hand, the person who loads the next section of drill pipe, to being the driller in charge of the operation. Humans have also been using triangles to build the world around us for a very long time. I live just outside London, which was once the ancient Roman city of Londinium. Sometime in the 1st century BCE, the Romans decided to build a road joining Londinium to a town near the south coast of England called Noviomagus, today known as Chichester. Romans famously built straight roads requiring a solid knowledge of surveying and geometry, but in this case, that would not be possible. Between London and Chichester are the Surrey Hills, featuring one impressive stretch called the North Downs, which is as close as England gets to an imposing mountain range. It's also where I live, which makes walking and cycling scenic but exhausting. While the Romans did not know it would be the future home of me, they did know that the North Downs and subsequent South Downs would be too hilly to easily build roads. Even if they did get a straight road through the hills, it would be too steep for any traffic to actually use. So they decided against the straight path between London and Chichester, instead turning their engineering and trigonometric ability to a roundabout route of multiple straight sections, which became known as Stane Street. To see where the straight line road would have gone, I used Google Maps to draw a straight line between modern London Bridge, site of the first permanent bridge over the River Thames built by the Romans, and where the east gate of Noviomagus would have been in Chichester. The map told me it was a distance of 88.6 kilometres, 55 miles, and as my gaze drifted down the line, I noticed it came into perfect alignment with a section of the modern A3 road. The A3 turned off into South London, but then my virtual line seemed to be directly on top of a straight section of the A24. Right through the map of modern London, major roads aligned with the straight line between London Bridge and Chichester. It is not uncommon for current roads and highways in England to follow the path of ancient streets, and suspiciously straight roads are a sure sign the route is Roman. The fingerprint of Roman engineering lives on in the modern road system. These fragments of the A3 and A24 are fossilized remnants of where the Romans put Stane Street. They started building the road directly towards Chichester for the first 20 kilometres before diverting to the east to avoid the North Downs. What startled me, though, is that the road never picks up that line again. The straight sections go around and through what is now Dorking before arriving at the east side of Chichester, but the road never again aligns with the straight line path. I couldn't believe it. The Romans had completed the geometry required to make sure a road goes directly towards its 88-kilometre away destination, but only for the first 20 kilometres. This would require surveying the entire straight line distance over 2 hill ranges just to make sure the first quarter of the road matched. It would have been a shorter, more direct path if they had aimed straight for the first pass through the North Downs, but no, they aimed for Chichester first, spending untold human time, effort, and calculations measuring triangles across difficult terrain just to show off. Or as I